What actually happened to Pencilmation? If you were on YouTube around 2017 or 2018, you probably remember Pencilmation. It was simple. It was funny. It felt creative in a way that many other cartoons did not. A small character named Pencilmate would get into silly problems, and a giant pencil would either help him or make things worse. The humor was clean and playful. The stories were short and easy to follow. Even the thumbnails matched what the video was actually about. It felt honest. But then something changed. The thumbnails started looking strange. The videos became much longer. New channels with the Pencilmation name appeared everywhere. Some fans felt confused, others felt disappointed. And eventually, people started asking a serious question. What actually happened to Pencilmation? To understand that, we need to go back to the beginning. Pencilmation was created by Ross Bollinger. He was inspired by an old cartoon called Duck Amok, where a character fights with the animator.
Stand back, musketeers! They shall sample my blade.
Ross liked the idea of a character fighting against the pencil that draws him. He created Pencilmate as a simple character who struggles against a powerful pencil. The idea was creative but easy to understand. At first, the animations were posted on websites like Newgrounds. Later, they moved to YouTube. For many years, the channel grew slowly. Ross worked as a freelancer while building the series on the side. Eventually, Pencilmation became successful enough for him to turn it into a full-time business. He created a company and hired other artists to help with production. By 2019, the channel had over 15 million subscribers. That is a massive number. The brand was strong and the videos were doing well. But around that time, YouTube changed its system. Instead of focusing mainly on views, YouTube began rewarding watch time more heavily. That meant longer videos could earn more money than short ones. This created a problem. Pencilmation was built around short animated episodes. Making long animations from scratch would cost more time and money. So Ross tried something different. He started making 30-minute compilation videos. At the beginning of each compilation, he would include a new short episode. After that, the rest of the video would be filled with older episodes. Some people saw this as smart. Others thought it was lazy. But it worked with the algorithm. The channel continued growing. Business looked stable from the outside. Then, in August 2020, a tweet appeared that changed everything. An artist claimed that Pencilmation was paying animators only $1 per second of animation. The tweet included screenshots of emails. Many people were shocked. $1 per second sounds extremely low. Animation takes hours, sometimes days, to complete even a short scene. Social media reacted quickly, and the situation spread. However, the full story was not that simple. Some current workers spoke up. They said that $1 per second was not for full animation, but for coloring work. They explained that freelance animators were actually paid around $8 per second at the time. That is still not television-level pay, but it is very different from $1. Ross later responded publicly. He said the claim about $1 per second for full animation was not true. However, he admitted that the company had real problems with communication during recruitment. Recruiters sometimes contacted artists before supervisors reviewed their work. This caused situations where people were told they were accepted, only to be rejected later. That hurt trust. Ross also admitted that mid-level artists were sometimes offered entry-level pay. That understandably upset people. After the backlash, freelance animation rates reportedly increased from $8 per second to $12 per second. Full-time employees were said to receive benefits such as paid time off and equipment reimbursement. The original tweet was later deleted, but the discussion had already spread. For many fans, the company's image was damaged. While this was happening behind the scenes, visible changes were happening in front of the camera as well. Around 2020, fans began noticing that thumbnails looked very different. They were brighter, louder, and sometimes shocking. Some included gross jokes involving poop or exaggerated facial expressions. Others showed copyrighted characters that were not even in the actual episode. It started to feel like clickbait. Why did this happen? Most likely the algorithm again. YouTube rewards videos that get clicks. Thumbnails with dramatic faces and bold colors attract attention. More clicks lead to more views. More views bring more ad revenue. In a competitive platform, many creators adjust their style to survive. But longtime fans felt uncomfortable. They remembered when thumbnails represented the actual story. Now it felt like attention was more important than accuracy. Then came the extra channels. Pencilmation Live, Pencilmation TV, Pencilmiss, and others appeared. Some re-uploaded older episodes, some posted compilations. To critics, it looked like content farming. Instead of focusing on fewer, higher quality uploads, it felt like the brand was spreading everywhere to maximize ad revenue. At the same time, changes were happening within the animation team. Some artists left. Production was outsourced to other studios, including Dream Farm. Fans noticed small differences in art style and coloring. Sometimes Pencilmate's lips looked blue. Sometimes the shading seemed different. These changes were not dramatic, but they were noticeable. Later, some thumbnails began featuring horror game characters or trending figures. This made certain viewers uncomfortable. It reminded them of content designed purely to attract children through trending topics rather than storytelling quality. For older fans, this period between 2020 and 2023 felt like a dark age. They felt the channel had become more focused on money than creativity. But the truth is more complicated. When a small creative project grows into a company with employees and payroll, decisions change. The creator must think about salaries, contracts, production schedules, and platform rules. Survival becomes important. A company cannot operate on passion alone. Pencilmation did not simply disappear. It evolved. It adjusted to YouTube's changing system. It responded to criticism. It raised pay rates. It continued producing content. However, growth always comes with trade-offs. The early charm of a small team can fade when production becomes industrial. The simple humor can feel different when there are deadlines and algorithms involved. Fans who grew up with the original version may feel disconnected from the newer one. So, what actually happened to Pencilmation? It grew into a business. It faced public criticism about pay and communication. It changed its thumbnails and upload style to fit YouTube's system. It expanded into multiple channels. It outsourced some production, and in doing so, it changed its identity. For some viewers, that change feels like a loss. For others, it is simply evolution. In the end, Pencilmation did not collapse overnight. It did not vanish. It adapted, it survived. It became something bigger than its original form. Whether that bigger version is better or worse depends on who you ask. But one thing is certain. It is no longer just a small pencil cartoon fighting against a sheet of paper. It is a full-scale YouTube company navigating a very competitive world, and that changes everything. What do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments.